Ready. Welcome back to the Critic Corp, ladies and gentlemen, where today we're going to be talking about The House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 1, that just aired earlier tonight. As always, I'm joined by my awesome co host, Jordy,
First of my name, true heir
and
to Iron Throne.
the wonderful Malcolm, aka Toke.
How's it going there, guys?
So honestly, guys, this show, I was excited for it to come out. We talked about our little forecasting we did the other day. You could be as much of a hater as you
Very
want to,
inaccurate.
Malcolm.
It was very inaccurate.
Very inaccurate. All right, it's not 300 years. It's 172 years before
And they're
Daenerys.
not brother and sister, they're niece and uncle. If
Yeah,
I
we're
wanna
only as good as guessers as you are. All right, and we don't read
I
any
don't
of the
think,
books.
but you know what? Fuck you for saying it in private because I know you did. Because I would have done the same thing.
We're learning, people. Get over it. Anyways, back to why we're here. So, Jordy, we're back in Westeros, baby.
We are, we
All
are,
right.
we are.
Everything, the gold cloaks, we're all here. So let's get us started, man. What was your favorite part? Just opening it up, seeing the dragons, maybe? Because that was mine.
How about we go to you guys because I'm gonna ramble on for a bit.
Oh, really? Well,
Oh, I'm very excited about
I
this.
want Malcolm's point of view then, because
Yeah, let's
he's
go
a
Malcolm.
Game of Thrones like virgin, pretty much. So I want to see what his headspace is. What you think of the first episode, my boy?
First episode was dope. It was pretty dope. Like I said, uh I'm like kind of familiar with what's going on, but at the same time, yeah, it is kind of confusing. All the names I got to grasp off the rip, but uh I would say my favorite part, honestly, was when they were jousting and whatnot.
The jousting scene was awesome, and it kind of reflected I forget if it was the first or second episode of Game of Thrones when Robert's having the jousting competition
Yeah, it was so similar how it
when he
all
first
comes
meet the
down
Hound.
to a
When he,
king wanting a tournament for like celebration and then a tragedy happening on top of that.
yeah,
Not to spoil anything for you, Tony.
I thought the tragedy was gonna happen on the actual jousting ground. I thought that Damon was gonna kill the Hand of the King's son or something, and it was,
Yeah, it was really
Uh,
leading up to that.
I
but
thought Damien was gonna die.
dude, I thought he was gonna die at the end too. But then I was like, you know what? We
No.
saw him in the trailers a little
It
much.
was too much, man. I knew he was gonna have to like do some crafty shit. If anything, I thought he was gonna like be a hoe and stab the Hand of the King's son after he like yielded.
Yeah,
More Game
yeah, I
of
thought he was gonna do
Thrones.
him dirty too.
What would be more Game of Thrones though than to kill off the main character that's on your season one poster immediately?
Bro, that's about as Game of Thrones as it gets.
Because everybody forgets what's gonna happen over these seasons. Like everybody
Red
remembers the
wedding
Red
type of things are already
Wedding.
occurring.
It pissed off fans so much just because they lose like almost all of their favorite characters in one episode. Like that's the kind of stuff that we may be leading to ultimately.
I could see it easily.
I also loved all the casting. I thought the performances were done really well, and I've heard a lot of gripes with like the wigs. The wigs actually didn't stick out too much to me, to be honest.
I didn't
Yeah,
see like too much of a difference really. Like it I mean, yeah, you're gonna have the people like, oh, well, like it doesn't match like their other like facial hair or whatever. It's like, okay, people, like pick a gripe about something else, I guess. Like come on. Like everything else looked good and like uniform. Like you couldn't really see any like parts in their hairline that I could tell. So
yeah, I couldn't really see any
I think
difference.
that's just people nitpicking, like the same people that are looking for the Starbucks cups on set. All right.
Hey, to be fair, that was pretty freaking bad.
Yeah, that was awful. But I'm just saying it's gonna be those same people that are just they're gonna try to look for the flaws in the show, like anything little.
I think this one's gonna be a pretty positive response because this was it had the production value of the later seasons, like the really good looking CGI and set pieces,
Mhm.
but with that same feel of the early seasons of Game of Thrones. That was way more political intrigue, more talking about the inner workings as opposed to just showing a ton of action and people traveling from one side of Westeros to another side within an episode when it used to take, what did they say, months, weeks?
Yeah. No, I think it's like the scene is set perfectly for this. How you were saying with like it kind of has that feel of the beginning of Game of Thrones mixed with like the end of Game of Thrones. I
Mhm.
like that we get that foreshadowing also with like the long night and
Oh
like with
yeah,
the Night King coming.
when they reference
All
the,
seven kingdoms need to band together to
oh,
stand
and
as one to protect the realm.
talking about Targaryen on the Iron Throne.
Yep, like all those little tiny like Easter eggs that they drop, for everyone already knows the end. Well, not
Will
everybody.
say you
So
can see the scheming going on within the Targaryen family. Like you should trust no one in that family. Like
And the brother,
even Princess Rhaenyra, the one that is the one that I'm kind of pulling for at this point, like the one that we're kind of attached to as the main character, so to speak.
yeah,
Um,
mhm.
she even I feel like is gonna have like a darker side to her, or like some sort of
like the Mad King Queen kind of vibe come out.
maybe
She
not
gon'
even Mad King
But
or
like that kind of like savagery that they've all showed. Like the true Targaryen bloodlust
I mean,
almost.
every time a Targaryen's born, the gods toss a coin and see what side it lands on.
might say she already got a control of the dragon, so yeah,
Oh,
she
the
gonna.
dragons look great.
This is
Mhm.
why I can't get behind y'all with Shang-Chi because I look at the dragons in Game of Thrones and I look at the dragons in House of the Dragon, bro. And then I look at Shang-Chi and it's just
For
like they
one
couldn't have
scene of
done anything
Shang-Chi
better
versus the
there.
dragon.
There,
For
what do you
one
mean?
scene. But
They're
then
about
we look at Spider-Man No Way Home, where
That dragon was the whole point of Shang-Chi, bro.
the
And you
whole,
couldn't have made it look any better
whole point,
other
what?
than the 10.
we're getting
What?
Bro,
get
the
The
back.
whole point
dragon
was Ten
held
Rings.
We're not
the
talking.
dragon held the wall. The dragon brought him back to
Cut,
life,
cut,
bro. Not the whole
cut.
point, but it was such a huge part of
Bro,
that ending, that build. Nothing. All their
bro,
weapons from the dragon. You would have
where
thought
did
the
this?
dragon would have looked sick.
Where
Anyways,
did
we're not
this?
even here to talk about that, okay?
Where
Back
did
to
this
the
hate
matter
come?
at hand.
Where did this
This
hate come?
season will be awesome, boys. I'm gonna say it right now. It's gonna compete for best series of this year.
Oh, I am gonna agree with that just because with how they've opened it up, I can see where they're kind of heading with the storyline. This was more of an introduction episode because they're going to be bouncing between timelines. This is
Mhm.
young Rhaenyra in this one, and they're going to be bouncing between this and I think what I heard was 10 years into the future and stuff.
I didn't know
Oh,
it was
really?
gonna be that much further.
Oh, really?
Because they have Emma D'Arcy that's going to be playing the actual Princess Rhaenyra,
Yeah.
who's
We
labeled
just have Millie right now playing.
the young version, yeah. But like King Viserys returns, Princess Daemon, Matt Smith from Morbius.
Yeah,
But
bro. I thought that was him.
yeah, that's the friend. I forget his
I
name.
wasn't 100% sure, but it was like he looked so familiar. And then I was looking at my movie list. I'm like,
He was in night last hunt or last night in Soho too.
Yeah, I loved him in Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, he did good
Oh,
in
and
that.
then we had Dr. Kurt Connors in here as the Hand of the King.
Otto. Man, the cast is good. I'm telling you,
They always cast great. Look at the
I'm not doubting them for their cast. I will just be sad to see them all go so quickly.
no people are gonna start dropping. It's
Like the cast will be replaced next
I
season
mean, to be
with
honest,
new people.
the
Mm.
Targaryen reign is seeming way more savage than the Lannister and Baratheon.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
And they're talking about the Baratheons. The
I
two
thought it was
brothers.
interesting though that like I didn't did we hear the Lannister in the taking the knee?
I do not believe so. But don't forget the
'Cause-
Lannisters were also allies of the Targaryens until the fall of King's Landing and everything. And that's because Jaime was the Kingslayer who
yeah.
wanted to protect them. And then they turned on them.
No, I just thought it was interesting. Like we heard all of like the other ones. Plus, it was really nice seeing a Stark loyal to a
Oh, freaking
princess being
Stark.
the heir. I liked that.
Dude, she's giving me big time early season Daenerys vibes.
Yeah, just is like that free spirit, wants to do right by her people. I I can get behind a ruler like that as
I will also
always.
say Viserys gives me real big Ned Stark vibes. Because
I'm glad you said something like
I was
that.
gonna say, like, out of all the Targaryens and everything, he seems like he does have a moral compass and is
A
looking
family guy, like he's about his bloodline, but he's also about his morals and knows what's right and wrong.
because Big Bob Baratheon would have never settled for his daughter being the heir to the throne. Like Big Bobber back in season one was not about that shit. He was about hunting and fucking whores
And drinking.
and drinking.
Don't forget he loved the drink.
Bro, that fucking when he had when Damon had the whole little whorehouse thing going. He just sitting there like not even entertained by that shit. It had me in tears.
What do you think he's trying to do with that? Because if I've learned anything in Game of Thrones, and he's scheming in some way,
Plot. He
because
plot.
oh, that's all this show is, Malcolm. I
He
can't.
plot. He
You're
plotting
gonna
on
love
that.
this.
that he plotting on his next come up. So at
You
the
would
end
have
of the
loved Game
day,
of Thrones. You need to
at,
watch it.
at the end of the day, it ain't even about blood. He about to come for that throne, boy. He was sitting on that boy in the beginning. I was like, man, he just reminiscing for his time. Reminiscing for his time. And then he tried to play the role like all he been doing is be by his brother's side. Nah, he just waiting on his moment.
I just couldn't believe it though, because honestly, I thought like I mean I can believe it. I don't want to say that. I just want to say I thought that they portrayed him and his brother's relationship well at first, to where you didn't really see the like conflict between them as much. It was still a he has his brother's back. He doesn't trust his brother to like lead, but he still respects his brother enough to keep him in his council
Mm,
and to like keep him part of things and like stand up for him.
yeah.
But for his brother to fully disrespect the family like that, that is what's gonna keep Rhaenyra like them being like allies and like best friends, like that almost like brother sister, like that they had, but with niece and uncle.
Mm-hmm.
That relationship got blown up there in her eyes. You could just see it. Like she didn't even say a word in that like moment, but you could see the look on her face. The relationship was broken.
Yeah,
She didn't even want an explanation anymore. She just wanted blood.
literally. Like she told uh what's her name? Her dad, the Grace.
Your
She,
Grace.
she was like, she's like, you ain't talked to me since the funeral. Like, what do you now you want me to ask me what I see in these dragons? Like, damn. And he just like, man, I wasted my time with all these trying to get all these sons out of this.
Could have
he's,
been building you up, making you smart.
he's just about to show her the roots.
Oh,
So,
Eric, I will say this was me towards the beginning of the episode right here. When I saw them standing up the stairs, I was like, that's where the Hound in the Mountain fought to the death.
Bro, if I had anybody here, I was talking and I was like, that's literally it. Look around the house. It's just me and Milo here. Ain't nobody gonna appreciate that.
Dude, the first like 10 to 15 minutes, it was just straight chills all over my body. Like my eyes almost started.
Flying over the
Dude.
King's Landing, dude, it looks so nice. How you said to me, it looked way more like movie
Cinematic.
theatrical.
Because even the first like couple seasons of Game of Thrones, they were a little bit lower budget because they didn't know how the show was gonna do. And it looked a little bit cheaper, like when you look back at it now. But when you watch this, it looks like season 7 and 8 of a show where they've already earned that kind of budget. But dude, this thing, the dragons look good. The Iron Throne being book accurate, looking phenomenal. It's really cool seeing the Targaryen reign because you see all these like relics and stuff in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like the orbs that they all place before they start their council.
And I'm sure we're gonna see that Coliseum where they all met
Mm-hmm.
in season 7, the end of
The
season.
dragon fights were there and such.
And I'm really excited to see all of this stuff finally play out. We saw all the ruins of it, but now we're gonna see like 17 to 19 dragons, I think they said. But
Mm.
I bouncing back, I think ever since in terms of Game of Thrones episodes, I think I would have to go back to maybe like The Long Night. This might be better to me in the long term than The Long Night, just because of how I really like The Long Night. Don't get me wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But overall, with the build up to the White Walkers and everything, I didn't feel
It
like
was
a satisfying conclusion. They kind of Phantom Menace it where they blew
it
up the
was
ship.
anticlimactic, bro. You know how I feel about
Moving
anticlimactic
the show
endings.
was Phantom Menace, episode 1, where they blew up the ship and all the droids just died. They did that shit with the Night King and everything, but the political intrigue and everything is why I fell in love with Game of Thrones because it was more drama. Like, Laws of Kings and Men is my favorite episode ever in Game of Thrones. That court scene with Tyrion is everything to me. This episode feels like it's recapturing that spirit of Game of Thrones. So.
No, I completely agree. It's got that same like hold your attention vibe.
And it's
Like,
shot.
you can't help but like wonder what's gonna happen next because everything is happening in the Red Keep. And then they take you immediately from the Red Keep and they go, fine, we're finally going to show you what's going on in the actual city. And you see the gold cloaks just go ham and set all the laws of you're a thief, you lose a hand. You're a raper, you cut your dick off. Like, you're murder people, all right. Off with Toke's head, just like that.
Off with your head. It's like the Green Knight all over again.
Uh,
Yeah, they started out strong though. They started out strong. I like it. I
Dude,
like how
if
I like the direction it's going in for sure. Like I said, I just gotta get more
acclimated.
you need to get into Westeros, fully like integrated into the
think-
society.
more acquainted with all the names, honestly.
I was gonna say, I think it's more getting acclimated to the houses because we
Yeah.
already know the great houses and everything. Even
And the like where everybody stands, like who's north, like who's west, like we already know where everyone's positioned. So we know the Starks control like the north pretty much. All right. Like we know where the Tyrells sit. But all in all, guys, I think like we can end up wrapping this up here. I just want to figure out where everyone put this for their ratings for the day. Like, what do you got, Jordy?
I'm usually a more critical rater, but I will say, like, other than the Batman, this is like one of the most anticipated things I've had on my docket for this year.
Avatar.
I had some super high. Hey, even Avatar didn't crack those two, like House of the Dragon and the Batman, just because, like, I already kind of had an idea of what it would be. Um, they were like just right here, neck and neck in terms of TV and movies, but I'm gonna have to go an A on this one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Nothing super groundbreaking story wise or anything yet, but overall, great start to the season and series. Welcome back to Westeros. We're all the way back, and I am stoked for the season.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back in Westeros, man. Tuck, where are we at? What you give it? It's like giving someone that doesn't have a Game of Thrones history.
Yeah, like I said, they came in strong with the first episode. I'll give it a solid A. So considering, they didn't uh they didn't dive deep until like midway and whatnot. Like they came off strong introducing the name. They didn't dive deep into the family and who they were and where the setting was and all that.
Let
Until like
me
mid.
touch on that actually. Like, I think Toke raises a good point indirectly because he didn't even watch Game of Thrones. I thought they did a really great job reintroducing new characters because we were so attached to like Jon Snow, Daenerys, Sansa,
Cersei, bro, like everybody, like Jamie Lannister.
like literally you can go Arya on and on about all these
Mm-hmm.
characters that you grew with for 8 seasons
The Hound.
and the Hound, and to reintroduce a bunch of new characters into a show like this that the last one didn't end on such a great note to a lot of people, and to open up this strong I think is a really good sign and really telling sign of good things to come. I hope.
Absolutely. Even though it's like the same like scene, it's a different like a total different like setting for the most part. Like you have the throne room looking totally different also with all the swords around it. You see like the 1,000 sword throne actually looks like 1,000 swords.
Mhm.
Like makes sense now why they said that. Like didn't get all chopped down and looking a little bit
Yeah,
softer for
when
the
they
people, but
when they showed his finger bleeding, what was that all about? Was
his
that
finger
was
got cut on one of the swords.
okay? I thought that was like something important.
Yeah, I saw that picture showed up the other day, man.
Yeah, yeah, that boy was crispy.
Oh, once I saw it I was like I have to get a picture on that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to the local Renaissance Festival. For y'all who don't know, the Michigan Renaissance Festival, and I went to that literally yesterday, and it prepped me for this because I saw so much Game of Thrones stuff. And if the Rings of Power is as good as this, us fantasy lovers are in for a treat these next couple of months. I am stoked. Oh, it's a high recommendation for me for this one. Even if you didn't like season 8 of Game of Thrones, definitely give this one a try. This is more in
You
line
have
with
to.
early season so far. Really hard to tell off one episode, but so far I'm loving it.
Yeah, man. I'm here for it with you guys at an A for this episode. I think they set the scene very well with how everyone's going to be portrayed moving forward. I like the conflict that they have set
Video,
up in
yeah.
the house. Then
What?
I also like how they ended up adding in just with this uncle, like how he's the what is it from you guys are gonna hate me for not knowing this right now,
Uncle?
but the uncle from shit, where is it? The Kraken, like the sea Kraken house.
Uh,
Oh, the
Pirate, the pirate? No.
You know who I'm talking about.
Greyjoys.
Yeah, the Greyjoys. Not it's Theon's uncle.
Yep,
He reminds me of him.
a little bit. I can see the relation. Yeah, absolutely.
Like almost has a certain idea of who the king should be as a powerful person and what the throne needs to represent. And that's where I think we're going to see his direction take it. And Rhaenyra is going to take it the Daenerys direction. So either way, I still think it'll boil down to being kind of like a foreshadow for the conflicts to come. So that's all I really want to say on it. I don't know what's going to happen for the future. As always, Game of Thrones is going to twist us, spin us around, and then take all of our cards and swap out the deck. So we don't know what's happening here, folks. We're just in the dark as you. But I'm really excited to see where we're going to head next. And I appreciate you guys tuning in to listen to where we're at here.
What did you guys think of the episode? Let us know below
Yeah.
in the comment section. If you guys don't like us, also leave that in the comment section. Just let us know anything in the
Yeah.
comment
We
section.
want to know if you're a hater, and don't just be like, I hate you. Give me a reason why. All right.
It's probably valid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That we are not the most likable people all the time. We understand.
But like we always say, like and subscribe no matter where it is.
Yes, click wherever you found us, you'll find the button.
Show
Thanks,
love.
and we'll catch you next time.
Thank y'all. We appreciate it.